Today's Wednesday, August 31st, 2016, and you're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show. Hey everybody, it's the last show of the month, and you know what that means. It's our prize pack giveaway. So stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today on the show. It is going to be a good show. It is going to be a soapbox show. It's going to be one that you are going to ask yourself, man, that does make sense, Tom. You have a great point there, and so I encourage you to share your comments, your feedback with the entities that not only have written some of the articles online, but with your local representatives concerning them, because there are some important things going on. So anyway, it is great to have you here. This is show number 440. I think there's a point where these shows, they don't feel like, how do I say this? It's kind of how I tell my wife. It feels like we've been married for a long time, but not that long. I know that's not a good way of saying it. I know that, but anyway, hasn't put me in the doghouse yet. But still, it doesn't sound quite right. But yeah, 440 shows on the Elevator Radio Show, and I have so many of you out there to thank for your support, for your kindness, for your just all your stuff, and recognizing that what we do here, what I do here every Wednesday morning, makes a small difference in our industry. So I appreciate that. And, when I started the show, the intention was not to make any money doing this. That's why I get up early in the morning, so that I can get everything I have to get done, in the day. I mean, basically when the show is turned off, uploaded, I get right into work mode, into everything else I have to take care of, which is definitely a busy process. So I do think about the show throughout the week and whatnot, and try to work it in as best I can. But yeah, today's our prize pack giveaway. We're giving away a $100 gift card to one of you lucky listeners out there. All you have to do is subscribe to the show, and to do that, it's pretty easy to do. Go to elevatorradioshow.com, enter your email address at the bottom where it says sign up. That's a way of doing it. Also go over to the Facebook page, like it, and you will become eligible that way as well. So you want to, if I need to say legal jargon stuff, no purchase required, and it's completely completely on the up and up. So, and again, I don't do anything with your emails, your information, so don't worry about that. It stays captured through the Elevator Radio Show. It doesn't go anywhere else other than that. I'll never do anything with it, as long as I'm alive and nobody steals it from us. So, and also thanks to Kali Elevator Company for donating. Craig was nice enough to donate two $25 Starbucks gift cards. We got one more to go, and also John Merrick at CodeDataPlate.com that also has donated some awesome Starbucks cards as well. So if you like coffee like Starbucks, it's a great way to get some free coffee. Anyway, so yeah, I got a good show for you today. Things are busy at home. They're good at home. Just as a PSA, it has nothing to do with elevators, but if your air conditioning is not working quite right, go out there, check the fins on it. Ours was just not working, and literally I go out there and it's caked with just crap, and took the hose, took the top off of it, cleaned it out. Works much better now. So that's my PSA to share with all of you out there. If your air conditioning is not working just right, just make sure your fins are not clogged up with whatever's flying around in the air, because that will definitely affect it. So that's my Yeah, nothing to do with elevators. But anyway, yeah, that's going to do it. So if you have questions, comments, please share them over on the Facebook page. And as always, we appreciate you joining us today. So up next, we'll get right into the news and have you out of here in no time.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, first news article of the show. There were two of them, both of which are somewhat concerning because something very similar is actually happening in New Jersey. And I have a feeling it's happening because the state of Massachusetts has kind of gone down this road as well. So state shifts elevator reinspection strategy, and this is coming from the Boston Herald. Now, when you read this article, to be honest with you, I'm not a dumb guy. I'm not, but when you start reading, you're like, what exactly are they really trying to do? They're talking about changes in the state elevator regulations, one of which that requires re-inspections not have to be done by an inspector, the inspector that found fault with the equipment they inspected the first time. So the reason, or the idea behind removing the reinspection policy or requirement is so that the current state inspectors would, have more time to just clear out the backlog that already exists, which is about 200 devices so far. What's kind of more concerning to this is that if you read down, there's a note here. The Herald yesterday quoted a national watchdog warning that elevator riders face a severe risk now that state public safety officials have stopped re-inspecting thousands of lifts in the Bates State and fail annual safety checkups at a rate of 1 in 5. So if these inspections are failing at a rate of 1 out of 5, there's a good chance that the corrections are not going to be done the way that they should be done to ensure that the units are safe. So this is a big deal, and is it me, or why is it so difficult to recognize that more inspectors are required to do the job? I mean, there are states out there, there are inspection bodies that actually generate revenue or are positive, cash positive on the books in some states. So take some lessons in terms of how, I believe the state of Indiana, I could be wrong on this, runs their elevator division and how successful it can be, because you're not fixing the problem here by taking away re-inspections. And what's going to happen is this, mark my words, what's going to happen is you're going to have some serious accident or fatality involving a lift, and instead of pointing the finger directly at the state legislators who came up with this quiet regulation that doesn't require re-inspections after a failure has occurred on an annual inspection, instead of pointing the finger at them, they're going to find fault, obviously, with everybody else that was involved with the process. And I don't want it to come to that point. I mean, I don't want in 5 years for a news story to be written that says, okay, this is didn't work out, we're going to go back to something more strict and more stringent, because that's what's going to happen. I've seen it before, and it's going to take an accident that'll occur. And I feel bad for those of you. We've got some listeners and some I've got some good friends in Massachusetts that are going to be dealing with this. And at the end of the day, while it might get allow the elevator inspectors to get caught up, I don't really know. The answer to the problem is to hire more inspectors, and do so in a way that inspections are worth what they are being charged, if that makes sense. There's no way, no easy way an inspection can occur for $65, Not saying that's what it is in Massachusetts, but this is a serious concern. It's a serious issue. Next article also relates to this as well. New Jersey is going through some similar changes. I encourage you, if you are in the state of Massachusetts or somewhere else, that you reach out to them. They have September 6th is the last day that they're going to be hearing, I believe they're going to be hearing comments on this. But again, they are not doing what they really should truly be doing. Next article, Boston Herald, elevator experts, severe safety risk for Massachusetts riders. Yes. And what you're going to find is some of the articles on today's show that involved accidents. I guarantee, I'm not going to guarantee because I don't want to be pulled into any litigation, but based on my own personal experience and accidents that have occurred, and these are not accidents that have occurred in Massachusetts, but just around the country. The accidents that we're going to talk about on the show today, at least one or two of them, probably could have been prevented had the elevator been inspected properly and maintained properly, all that good stuff. You're going to find, I guarantee you're going to find, I'm more than certain that you're going to find that some of the devices that were involved in the accidents on today's show had issues with them. Perhaps were not inspected or had, been red tagged or had issues that may or may not have been corrected. So we'll see what happens as we go, learn more about this. But as a safety consultant, Kevin Dougherty, who's based in New York, said it's atrocious, it's preposterous, it puts the safety of the riding public in severe risk. It's like the fox guarding the hen house. And this has come up in past comments before, and inspections are important to make sure equipment is safe. So they're talking other numbers which are pretty interesting. 42,000 devices that were inspected, around 8,000. Let me get through this ad here. 8,400 failed their annual checkup, with 500 of those being shut down completely. So what happens? So if 500 are shut down, reinspection is not required. The elevator company and the building owner are required to bring it up to repair whatever it needed to be repaired, and then also report it to the state that that's actually been done. So it's one of those things where I know when the fire department comes into our building and does an inspection, fire department will, if they see a violation or an issue, they will notify us. And the way the fire department works here in our local areas is if we state that we will correct the issue, they will not write it up, but they will come back and check in a month to make sure that it's been done, which I think is great. And obviously, when you're a business owner and you have employees to worry about, their safety is paramount, or it should be paramount. So fixing any kind of issue, whether it's a extension cord or a battery on a emergency light that hasn't been updated or checked, is easy to do. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, if you knew the firefighter wasn't going to come around until the following year, there's a good chance you wouldn't do anything, just knowing that, okay, there's no accountability with it. And not knocking maintenance or contractors or inspectors, but the reality is that when there's some kind of follow-up, you're going to do something about it. So, and next article, again, this is the one I was talking about earlier on NewJersey.com. Man reportedly killed in elevator accident at Lakehurst restaurant. I don't know exactly what happened here. I'm sure we'll learn more details as information gets posted. But apparently, a 34-year-old worker in Ocean County restaurant was killed Sunday in an accident involving possible malfunctioning freight elevator. Apparently, this person was moving a food delivery to a basement at 3B's Bar and Bistro using the elevator, report said. Had one foot on the elevator floor and the other outside when the elevator lowered, bringing the bar down on him. So I'm not quite sure exactly how old this elevator is or what happened, but again, elevator shouldn't run, should not move with the doors open, and I would think that if it was some type of door lock related issue, it would not have passed inspection. And again, this is what you're going to be looking at, and it should not take any kind of tragedy or accident like this that would cause that should make legislators do a complete 180 degrees on their position. So hey, hire more inspectors. What is so difficult about that? I mean, there are cities and states all over the country that deal with the same issue of there's not enough inspectors, not enough work. Is it really a budget issue? Why can't inspection entities make money? Can they? Can they become? I don't want to call the word profitable, but at least support their own. I mean, there should be a way of that happening. So, okay, more on the information above. This one was covered by a Philadelphia news source, NBCChannel10.com, and this one's titled, Worker Gets Caught in New Jersey, Restaurant Freight Elevator Machine and Dies. So not good. This facility here looks as if it's relatively new or had a facelift, so I'm not quite sure the deal with it, but as we learn more, we'll definitely share that with you. OSHA is investigating, and the only positive, there's no positive side in an article like this or an accident, but the fact that OSHA is involved should shed a little bit more light on it than a litigation company, which a litigation company will get involved to represent the family of the person who died, unfortunately, and it's just part of the whole deal. But OSHA does release reports and should may share information. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. So, okay, next news article after the heavy stuff. Boing Boing has an article, How to Behave in an Elevator, talking about a psychologist, Lane Longfellow, who is the go-to expert on how people behave in elevators. After years of research, Longfellow came up with a simple guide to how to behave in an elevator, including suggestions like facing forward, watch the numbers. Come on. If you are the specialist in this field, I think you have too much time on your hands. So I'm not quite sure what kind of litigation case you might be called in to do because of this, but I guess creating a niche for yourself is, I guess, your own prerogative. So, okay, real serious, an accident that occurred in New York. A boy who was 11 years old in Garden City, New York, falls 30 feet from an escalator at the Roosevelt Field Mall. And I didn't really read this because I know something's going to pop up and jump at me. Their spokeswoman for Neiman Marcus said the company is reviewing the incident to see if any additional safety measures are needed for the store. Hey, if anybody's listening from Neiman Marcus, we encourage you to contact the ESF.org for help programs to help educate anybody, parents, children, so that they are safe. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart there as I was reading everything. So terrible accident. Hopefully the boy's going to be okay, but just scary. Remember, escalators they're not amusement park rides by any means. This is what I was talking about on last week's program. NewJersey.com or NJ.com has an article. A teen was charged with self-immolation prank. I don't know what that is, but I can look it up, and I'm not going to. In Wildwood Hotel elevator. I'm not 100% sure exactly what he was charged with, but you do stupid stuff, and you should be charged with something like this. And basically, this teen walked into an elevator and had a container of gasoline that he poured on himself, threatening to set himself on fire, when in fact it was actually water. So, you do this in another country. You see these videos all the time where people are pranked in elevators to the point where they may have a heart attack. And, that doesn't go over very well in the United States. So you do that here, and you're going to find yourself in a lawsuit or behind bars, and that's it really should be the way it should be. So especially in the day we live in today. Hey, if you haven't read the story about YouTube's insanely popular elevator videos channel, Diesel Ducey and Andrew Reams, I encourage you to read it and enjoy what he's done. And if you think to yourself, it's kind of crazy that there's somebody out there and he's got such a huge following. He is one of the largest YouTube videographers out there as it relates to elevators in the world. Good guy. He does a lot of positive work with autism and those with Asperger's and Downs. I just, every chance I can do, I can help this guy out. I definitely do it because he has got a big heart and gives back to the community as best that he can. I look forward to more stuff that he does, and check out his channels over on YouTube.com. Just a great article. It's nice to see him being recognized for his hard work. Okay, temporary platform causing headaches in Cleveland. Apparently, RTA's temporary Tower City platform is not ideal, and with the elevator being out, it's not the easiest thing to travel up and down on, and that's just one of the realities. But the RTA did step up to get the elevator fixed, as we reported on a previous show, and hopefully that'll get done sooner than later. 5-year-old girl falls to death in shopping mall. Again, this did not happen in the United States, but still a huge issue. And if you take a look at this photograph, it's awful. Just awful. This happened in Riyadh. 5-year-old girl died instantly after falling from the 3rd floor of a shopping mall at the province of Jazan. Her mothers and other relatives were busy shopping and did not pay attention to the child who fell from the escalator as she was playing. Preventable, 100%. 100%. Yeah, just awful. And to see the photograph, which would not be published this way, if it were to have happened in the United States with like a cover on the floor where she fell, it's just awful. It's just awful. Okay, I already posted this one up on the top of the article. Skip that one. Come on. Go back. Internet's not running particularly fast today. Another accident, Michigan man critical condition after falling down an elevator shaft. Again, I don't know if this is necessarily an issue which related to, let's see here. This is in Holland, Michigan. A 50-year-old worker fell 22 feet down an elevator shaft at the Perigo in Holland on Thursday. Let's see here. Dan Voss Construction was working on a second-floor elevator shaft opening before the incident occurred. So it sounds this was some kind of construction project, but not a whole lot of information on that. So be careful out there. Really, be careful. It's so easy to fall and get hurt when you're used to the surroundings that you're working around. So, all right, next article. Okay, man rescued from parking garage elevator. I'll let you all read that on your own. Everybody's okay. It was not a big deal. Again, slow news day in the location that was in. The SanJuanJournal.com features an Islander in Washington, an Islander who is a elevator mechanic in an inspiring documentary. I caught the end of this program on the other night, and I was just blown away. They're talking about, people's last days of life, and the remarkable people who are facing this ultimate reality, and I had no idea this guy was a mechanic. So, man, I hope that she's been fighting a brain tumor. It's such a great program, and it really makes you realize what's important in life. Really is. I hope. And it's not just about people dying; it's about how they're coping, the differences they're making in their last days, and how those that are around them love them so much, and how that support structure, works. And can't imagine going through something like that. And I hope I never have to in the future. I really do. So anyway, just check it out, and I'm sure you can YouTube the video and learn more. But it's definitely a TV series or show or documentary that will make you appreciate what you have and want to do more each day. But it's cool that he was a mechanic. That the fact that they were Anyway, okay. NIST shares report on perspectives of occupants with mobility impairments on fire evacuation in elevators. I haven't read this. I'm going to. I can only imagine that it probably makes them feel a little bit safer, understanding what and how fire evacuation in elevators works. If it is a new one, if it's not, I would think that there's probably a great deal of anxiety if those that have mobility impairments cannot use elevators to exit a building when it is on fire or there's an emergency. You know what I mean? So I'll check it out, link, read it on your own. I'm sure it's going to provide some interesting. I'm going to print it. I'll read it in bedtime tonight. So interesting perspective, but I think we all probably know what that perspective it is. Next news article, RussianConstruction.com has an article, Chinese military medics trapped in hospital's elevator in Moscow. I don't know what Chinese military people are doing, or surgeons are doing in Moscow, but oh well. But the image here is a little unique. It shows somebody like hanging out of the top of elevator access door, and I'm not 100% sure here, but it looks like there's a pretty significant camera in there. I'm just glad everybody's okay. Nobody fell down the shaft, and you hope that emergencies and evacuations of elevator cars are performed the same everywhere as they are in the United States, because I think we do a pretty good job here doing so. Forget self-driving. Oh, you know what? This is funny. Wire.com has an article talking about forget self-driving cars. Let's make self-driving living rooms. You know what that is? It's an elevator, for goodness sakes. When I was reading all the information regarding the Tesla and the self-driving car and how there was an accident, somebody was killed when their self-driving car drove underneath a truck, I kind of realized, you know what? I mean, our industry invented the self-driving box. You know, which car is kind of like a box. Obviously, it's a little different, but yeah, we make a self-driving living room. You could make it a living room. So I don't know if anybody would necessarily want to be in a box like this and have it go up and down. I don't really know, but yeah, honestly, I don't think this will ever take off. But but yes, pat yourself on the back. Realize that you created. You're part of an industry that developed or that makes boxes self-drive. How about that? And we've been doing it since the invention of the elevator and the motor and the parking, and the governor, and the safety. Sorry, all that good stuff. It's early. I apologize. Okay, the Chicago Elevator Association meeting is tomorrow night. I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to one in a little while and cannot wait. So it's going to be held at the the Clubhouse in Oak Brook, Illinois. Looking forward to it. And the scholarship winners have been announced and notified. And thanks to the scholarship committee for helping, I think 3 or 4 or 5 college kids with their financial needs this fall semester. So to register, it might be too late, but if you want to, go down and RSVP accordingly. So looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night. Just got to get a good night's sleep tonight. Next article, a Washington Monument to get modernized. If you want to check that out, it seems a shame, but they're going to have to close the Washington Monument for 9 months. I just hope that whatever issues they take care of the issues, the problem. So be interesting to see what exactly they're going to do to modernize that. And I'm a little shocked that the 9-month timeline is there. That's a long time, obviously, and I want to say that when they installed the other one, it was probably around the same time. I don't know. Last news article of the story on last week's program, I did talk about a special project that I personally have been involved with locally through C.J. Anderson and our local fire department. When it's not Lieutenant Dan anymore. Oh no, not the ads. Sleep now. That's a good song, but we're not going to listen to it. Anyway, this whole 9/11 memorial project was spearheaded by, I want to get his title correctly, Dan Johnson, who is the current, I gotta remember what his title is. I can't find it. It's somewhere in here, and actually I got his card. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, here we go. Deputy Chief. Did not want to cut him short by any means because he was the driving factor behind this. Deputy Fire Chief Dan Johnson helped raise more than $50,000 in donations for the statue and other costs and festivities, including T-shirts and all sorts of stuff. Dan's a great guy. He wanted to make sure that residents of Harwood Heights and Norridge understood the importance of 9/11 and those that perished that day. Take a look through the photographs, and I'm proud to be one of those names on that plaque. In addition, they celebrated 75 years of, being in business, not in business, but being around. Let's see here. I just want to show you take a look at all the photographs here. And they don't have one of the memorial. Why not? Let's see here. But what's cool is Dan spent like a good 5 to 7 years looking for or trying to get a piece of the tower to implant into the memorial, and he did it. So I just want to say how proud I am to be part of that whole process. And when Dan came to me and said, "Hey, we're looking for donations," I was, "Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Just tell me where to send the money." So, as many of us as we approach September 11th and remember that terrible, tragic day, it was a day that changed us as a country, and we'll never forget. Never forget. From the first responders to the mechanics that died trying to help those that were in the building, you will never be forgotten, and that's important. So, anyway, that's going to do it for this show, everybody. I am going to do the prize pack giveaway, and if anybody's in Harwood Heights, I'd love to walk you over there and show you that whole thing. Anytime you're in town or you want to see it, because it's pretty cool. It's very cool. All right, so I'm going to go to our number random generator website here. All right, and enter our low and high number 1 and 6251. Okay, number 2156. All right, 2156. Steve from California. Steve M from California. Looks as if you are an elevator mechanic. Congratulations on your prize pack giveaway. Thank you for subscribing to the show. I'll reach out to you shortly to confirm your shipping address, and you'll get your goodie box shipped to you as soon as you do. So as always, thank you for tuning in today. Greatly appreciated. Have a safe rest of the week, and enjoy the last day of August. September is tomorrow, everybody. So, all right, everybody, you take care. We will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.